So, those crows showed up at the funeral, and Sophia's face said everything. Like, pause, stop whatever you're doing, because episode 3 of From Just Quietly dropped a bunch of stuff that people are sleeping on. I genuinely think the next few episodes are about to hit completely different because of what we saw here. I'm talking the man in yellow's suit, a brand new trio forming out of nowhere, Fatima acting suspicious the entire episode, and Boyd's final scene that honestly kept me up way longer than it should have. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're breaking down episode 3. Hit that like button real quick. Seriously, it takes 2 seconds and it means a lot. Subscribe if you're new, notifications on, all that good stuff. Let's actually get into it. Let's start where the episode ends, because that grave scene, Boyd standing over his wife's grave, and then something grabs his hand from underground. Real talk. I didn't know whether to read that as a hallucination or something literally happening beneath the soil. And here's the thing, we already know monsters move underground in this town. So is Boyd's wife somehow still there? Is it a trap? Is the town messing with his head again? I have so many directions this could go, and I genuinely can't lock in on one answer yet. But whatever it is, the show is clearly setting Boyd up for something deeply personal this season. This grave is going to matter. Mark my words. Now let's go back to the beginning. Fatima and Eldon. The episode opens with a conversation between these two. And honestly, Fatima surprised me here. After everything Eldon did to her in season 3, she's not bitter. She actually tells him she understands that the town manipulated both of them during their weakest moments. Used Eldon to get her into the bunker. Used her to deliver baby Smile back into the world. She gets it. She's thought it through. But then she asks him for a favor. She wants him to bring her specific soil, and we see that soil at the very end of the episode. Why? That's the question nobody has answered yet. My theory? It's connected to those visions she had during childbirth. She mentioned seeing something horrific. People sacrificing their own children to feed the monsters. A ritual. Something ancient. And here's what I keep coming back to all episode long. Fatima is moving through scenes with this expression on her face like she knows something she's not saying. Every single scene, she visits different places, talks to different people, and there's always this layer underneath, like she's carrying a secret. She even admits out loud that she saw something bigger behind the ritual, but claims she can't remember. But what if she does remember, and she's just not telling anyone? Now look, people in the comments have been theorizing for a while that Fatima might be on a path toward becoming a monster herself. And honestly, given everything From has pulled on us before, I can't even dismiss that. This show will do it. This show absolutely will do it. Okay, the funeral scene. This is where things got really interesting. The crows arrive. Out of nowhere, just descending on the funeral like some kind of warning. And Sophia's reaction is what got me. She doesn't look confused. She doesn't look curious. She looks uncomfortable, almost scared, like she knew something bad was being announced and didn't want to face it. Here's my read on the crows. I don't think they're random. I think the town itself, or at least something in it, operates separately from the man in yellow. Like he's one piece of a much bigger machine. He's the gear that turns when reincarnations start finding answers. The one who shows up to derail everything. But the crows, the boy in white, those feel like they come from somewhere else entirely. A different part of this system that's maybe trying to warn people rather than stop them. And if that's true, that the town has more than one force operating inside it, then everything we thought we understood about how this place works just got more complicated. Before I forget, the pastor detail. I recorded this part separately because I almost skipped it while editing, and I really shouldn't have. Right before the main funeral scene, Sophia says goodbye to the pastor. And there's a scar on him. Identical to the one Jim had when he appeared to Juan. Same mark, that's not a coincidence. Then Sophia does something strange. She removes one of his teeth to keep it, to remember him. And that connects directly back to season 2. When Smile died, they found a tooth in his pocket. So now we're seeing a pattern. Monsters keep pieces of the people they knew. Teeth specifically. It's like a memory system for them, some way of holding on to whoever they were before or whoever mattered to them. That detail is small, but it reframes how we think about what these monsters actually are. There's something almost human buried in that behavior, which makes them way more unsettling, not less. The diner scene and the man in yellow's actual strategy. So Julie is sitting with Sophia, trying to be calm, trying to give her some genuine guidance, and Sophia flips it on her. She uses something Kenny said. That things shifted when Tabitha and Jade first arrived, and she weaponizes it. Twists it just enough to make Julie lose her composure and start blaming Kenny in front of everyone. And that's when it clicked for me what the man in yellow has actually been building toward. He said his favorite part was coming. He wasn't talking about a physical attack. He was talking about this, cracking people from the inside, turning their trust into ammunition. Kenny shared information, Sophia distorted it, Julie reacted, and now there's damage in relationships that were already fragile. The man in yellow doesn't need to physically destroy this group. He just needs to make them destroy each other first. And it's working. Boyd and Costa, this is the arc I didn't expect. Going into this season, I genuinely thought Costa was going to become Boyd's biggest rival. That antagonist energy she was carrying through season 3, the ego, the constant push to find a way out, I thought that was building toward a conflict. But episode 3 is doing something completely different with her. We see Boyd wake up from another dream about Abby, the moment he had to kill her. That guilt that clearly never left him. And when he talks to Costa, she tells him if he hands her one bullet, she'd walk into the forest and end it herself. She's done. The town broke her. And Boyd, instead of giving up on her, sees Abby in her. He tells her that directly. Says he wasn't there to help his wife in time, that the town got to her before he could do anything. And with Costa, he wants to do it differently. So he gives her a purpose. Takes her to the colony house storage to go through old objects, use her investigative instincts for something useful. Here's the thing. Eldon found that camera in the colony house last season. And there's a scene from a recent trailer where Boyd is swinging a sledgehammer at a wall. I think Costa's police background leads her to something hidden in that storage area, and it points Boyd toward whatever is behind that wall. These two might actually crack something major together. Partners, not rivals. I didn't see that coming, but I'm here for it. Now, the trio. Iton, Victor, Ethan, and Jade. This might be the biggest development of the episode, and somehow people are barely talking about it. Ethan wants to find the Lake of Tears. He believes it can heal someone, maybe even bring someone back. So he, Victor, and Jade head into the forest, and they find it. The man in yellow suit. Victor's reaction is complete and total breakdown. He's so terrified he can't hold himself together, and that tells us everything. Victor didn't just know of the man in yellow. He witnessed something so traumatic that seeing that empty suit decades later completely undoes him. My theory is that Victor saw the man in yellow during the original massacre. Not just glimpsed him, actually watched him feeding on bodies. And Victor, being a child, repressed it so deeply that even now he can't fully access the memory. The suit is the trigger that bypasses whatever mental wall he built around it. And that confirmation that Victor knew the man in yellow before we thought. Changes the timeline of everything we've been theorizing about. Because if Victor has that knowledge buried somewhere in his head, and if Ethan and Jade can somehow help him access it, that trio becomes the most dangerous group of people in the town right now. Julie, Randall, and the collapsed house. Julie needs books because they contain the story of Croman Noel, and she believes that's the key to understanding her powers, specifically how to travel through time or slip between certain moments, so she goes back to the house that collapsed in Season 2, and Randall goes with her. Randall is genuinely interesting to me because he completely drops his tough guy thing around Julie. It's noticeable. He goes into that collapsed structure, finds a body that's been there since Season 2, and gets a pretty brutal jump scare when a rat crawls out of the corpse's mouth. Not exactly a romantic moment, but here we are. And honestly, Randall, Julie, and Marielle were all cursed by the ballerina in Season 2. All three of them. That connection keeps pulling at me. Like the show is quietly threading these three together for a reason that's going to matter a lot later. Maybe in fighting the man in yellow. Maybe in something else entirely. Tabitha, Harry, and the boy in white. Short, but important. Tabitha and Harry meet the boy in white near the bottle tree, and he tells them time is running out. The boy in white is aging. That's new. And that detail matters, because entities don't age. Something that's purely supernatural, purely part of this place. It wouldn't have a biological clock ticking. So who is he actually? A story walker? Someone moving through time trying to help from the outside? His aging suggests he's more human than we've been assuming, which opens up a completely different set of questions about what he knows and what he's trying to accomplish before whatever deadline he's counting down to. Alright, here's where we land. Episode 3 is slower. I know people had complaints, and yeah, the pacing is different from episode 2, but every single scene in this episode is planting something. The soil, the suit, the trio, the crows, Boyd at the grave, Costa in the storage room, Fatima's secret. None of it is filler. It's all going somewhere. Episodes 5 and 6 are going to be the peak of this season. I genuinely believe that. And when we get there, we're gonna look back at episode 3 and see exactly why everything was set up this way. Drop your theories in the comments. Seriously, what is Fatima doing with that soil? What did Victor actually see? I want to read every single one. Like the video if this helped. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you tomorrow.